Welcome everyone to episode 59 of the ZeroHP Podcast. It took me 7 seconds where I was like, oh shit, what number
What's
is
the number?
this?
We didn't look. You almost pulled a me.
59.
You were like, 408.
10 away from Kevin's favorite number.
Hey.
Maybe we should have him special guest on 69.
He should just do it by himself. He'll be like, hey guys, this is Kevin.
Just all by himself.
Just weird sexual innuendo the whole
Oh
time.
god,
for
yeah.
an
It
hour.
never really, it's never straight up like.
No, it's never, no.
It's never like
It's
graphic
never even
or,
accurate or graphic. It's just a little
you just
giggle
know,
here
yeah, and
and
he just says that with that tone, even things that aren't sexual in nature.
like not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know that's what he means.
Well,
Because,
all the time.
Yeah.
That's all he ever means.
for a whole hour.
If he asks how you're doing, he means it sexually.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't actually want to know how you're doing.
Oh my god. This has been an interesting week. And here we are on another Sunday.
This is not my fault. Oh, it is actually my fault.
Well, not really.
And we'll talk about what happened.
I've canceled on Fridays too. It's not like...
Have you? I feel like
Yeah.
it's me every time.
There's been a couple times where we would have both canceled Friday simultaneously.
Yeah.
But like a few months ago, I went to Arthur's and stuff, did music stuff for Friday. So
Yeah, you're right.
it's happened before.
It happens. I don't want this to be the regular thing, and I'm trying to make it not that. I actually have laser eye surgery coming up on Friday. I should be okay, though, to come do recording.
Yeah, you think so?
I
know that it's not like a super invasive thing.
No, I mean, technically, you should be okay afterward. Your eye, like right afterward. Your eyes get a little dry, and they recommend you take a nap afterward. But
keep them closed.
Yeah, I should be fine.
Okay.
I'll be at home all day, just relaxing and stuff. So that evening, I'll come over and. I mean, unless it goes horribly wrong and I go blind.
Yeah,
but
there's that.
we can still podcast.
Yeah.
If I'm blind,
You don't need to see to talk to this mic.
Blindcast.
I'll just
Let's
let you
do
know. I guess I'll always do the intro since you don't know how long several seconds.
I don't know. I'm just counting them. I can't see my fingers. Bruh! Zombies!
We'll get to that.
That's a little foreshadowing.
So we've had an interesting week in gaming, both of us.
Yeah.
Very different from normal. Both,
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
Like we both have different stories to tell
Yeah.
from our week in gaming that don't look like normal weeks.
Yeah, you can say that.
We got a positive one, we got a negative one. Which one you want to start with?
Well, you want to just kick off what we've been playing and kind of transition into that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of but what I've been playing is what I'm going to talk about.
That's fair.
That's my positive note.
That's totally fair.
Because I haven't played anything other than that.
Okay,
this
I
week.
played like 2 things. So, and
Okay.
it's not the usual kind of ish. Well, it kind of is. We'll talk about it. All right, so we'll start off with the bad, which
Yeah.
is what I've been playing.
All right.
I'll let you know I haven't really played any PUBG this week
Wow. Okay.
because I've dove in 100%, well, like 98% back into Fortnite. I know that's not really different because I kind of have that in here every time. But like usually it's like I played on Xbox with my brother.
Right.
I did jump back in on
You
PC.
dragged Kevin kicking and screaming in there.
He didn't kick or scream. It was actually his idea.
Oh, really?
Which
Okay.
is incredible. If you know anything about Kevin's past with Fortnite, he likes to hate on it.
Yeah.
He even admitted live on stream that it was out of a place of jealousy. And he's like, I hate that it runs so well. I just wish PUBG worked this way and like it ran well and the pacing was correct. But yeah, okay, long story short, we've been playing a lot of Fortnite rather. So much fun. Quickly, just to elaborate on it, I think the interest in Fortnite came from us kind of being spoiled with the new map on PUBG, Sandhawk, also known as Chicken Fun,
Yep.
which is a rough translation. The pacing on that map, which I talked about last week and probably 8 weeks before that, is so nice because you could finish a game like in 15 to 20 minutes.
And then you're going back to Erangel?
And then you go back to Miramar,
Oh.
where you don't even see anyone for 42 minutes, and the game is 43 minutes long, and then you die. And then that's the game. You loot for 40 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration.
No.
You know, you've played it.
Yeah.
You loot for 30 to 40 minutes, and you might encounter somebody if they landed near you, but you probably won't if you
You'll have
played
that
it
rare
smart.
game where you just keep running into everyone, but that's
Yeah,
rare.
If you hot drop, you know, of course that's different. But if you play to win, you might have 1 or 2 encounters in the length of a game, a 40-minute game. And we tried to jump back in after they took away the new map, just temporarily while they're working on it. And it was painful. I mean,
Yeah.
if you stream for 3 hours a night, which is kind of what I'm at right now, you get like 4 games in, and then that's your night. You know,
Yep.
It can kind of just be disappointing. You can, you know, if you have a night where you have bad games and there's only 3 or 4 games, it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth. There's
part of the reason I kind of stopped playing for a
yeah,
while, I think.
yeah, and
We
that
decided-
totally makes sense. I think you'd like the new map a lot, actually.
Okay.
And I'm excited for you to try it. But yeah, I think so. We had this kind of weird desire to play something with a little bit faster pacing, and Fortnite was there, and I never try to bring it up to Kevin because he always hates on Fortnite a lot, and I can't stand it, and that's why he does it. But it was his idea, and we jump back in. It's awesome. It's so much fun. It's so different now. I've never played it on like a more serious level. I haven't played it on a more serious level in months. Since I've been playing PUBG so much. But it's so crazy how with the explosion of a lot of big Twitch streamers and how Fortnite has become this weird like competitive niche now. They just finished this huge tournament with a lot of big Twitch streamers on there. How big building has gotten, and that was always kind of a joke in that game. Like you can even go back to our podcast that featured Doug, I think, or even our first podcast with Ryan where we talked about Fortnite, and he said he was a fan. But like no one talked about building.
No, maybe a little bit. There was a few of those guys that built like creative traps and stuff.
Yeah, they would do traps and maybe like a 1x1 house here and there and hide out in there. Now people like build elaborate mansions within seconds, and it's crazy. And getting good at that is actually a lot of fun. It's kind of an interesting meta in the game. Messing with all custom keybinds and kind of making it comfortable for you. I'm still, I've only been a PC gamer technically now for like 6 months, I think, something like that. And I'm still getting used to using numbers to switch weapons, which is really weird for me. My fingers never have to travel that far.
Like with other games for me, I have a difficult time when things are accessible between 1 and on the numbers.
I mean, for Fortnite, for example, your weapons are 1 through 5. You can change them up a little bit, but and it's so hard for me. I'm not to reach there, and that's regular for everyone else. So I think it's just being new to PC. It's kind of uncomfortable for me, but we played a lot of Fortnite. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. We also, if you remember, I'm sure we talked about it, planned on playing State of Decay 2. Which came out for...
I was planning on getting it.
Yeah, which was available, in quotes, for early release on May 18th as of 9 p.m. And I said we were supposed to play it because we never did. I played it alone for about an hour and a half. Keep in mind, we took all of Friday off from our real-world actual jobs and used actual PTO to play this game all day and didn't play it at all because it doesn't work. It didn't work for me at first. If you've ever had a problem, which a lot of people have, with your Xbox where when you turn it on, it just can't sign you in. Randomly, and
it's like the one issue I have with it all the time.
Yeah, and you manually click on your sign in, and it tries again and tries again. You have to
restart it.
You do a hard reboot on the Xbox. Usually that'll fix it. That was happening on my PC, which doesn't make any sense to me. So that might not be an issue on State of Decay's end.
Where did you buy it on the computer?
It's only available through the Microsoft Store.
Is that like the Xbox thing or like the actual Microsoft?
I don't have the Xbox app on my PC, so I went through the actual the Microsoft website, and they have like an install link there, and you download it there. And then when I would boot the game up, it would try to sign in, and it just kept saying login fail, login fail, login fail. Eventually, it worked for me. Kevin still has not gotten his to work, and today is the 20th, right? Is that?
Yeah, that's correct.
Today's the 20th. It still doesn't work for him. He re-downloaded the game twice, completely, and has rebooted the PC many times. He installed a new update for Windows 10, and that fixed the game, but then none of the USB ports on his computer were working, which seemed kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
So it's not only an issue on State of Decay's end, but we haven't had this problem with any other game. So he reverted back to the previous update on Windows, and then every other game worked, but State of Decay didn't work. So it's probably the most disappointed I've been with a new game release since Halo Master Chief Collection, which is always my biggest example. I talked about it before.
Yeah, that's a huge example.
Yeah, my youngest brother and I took 3 days off from each of our jobs to hang out and play that game, and it didn't work for one of those days at all. I think we played one match, and the rest of it we watched that show, The 100. That's all we did for 3 days. That was the most disappointed I've ever been. This is a close second, because this game, I talked about it on our most anticipated games of the year.
Yeah,
it was
back
in December.
Number 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, it was number 1 or 2 for me. And I was extremely disappointed with it. I was able to get in. I played it alone for about an hour and a half, and it was not fun. It was more State of Decay, but somehow felt slower than the original one. The map is much bigger, but there's not more there, if that makes sense. So you jump in, and it's a very similar introduction. You pick a character. Actually, you pick from different groups of characters, and you can kind of play within that narrative, which is a little bit different, which is nice. But you jump in, and just right out of the gate, same thing. Somebody's sick. You have to get them healed. You have to start building up your colony and going to work. And that's all within about an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is all I played. I do want to play more of it, but I just don't know if or when I will. I got to deal with a little bit of the vehicle stuff. It didn't feel any different from State of Decay 1. You can hit them with the door and drive around, put gas in the tank. I don't think you could do that in the first one. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's a different experience when you play it with your friends, and which I didn't get to do because it didn't work. So yeah, to clarify, I don't know if I did. Kevin's getting that login failed error, which a lot of people online are getting. There's a whole Reddit page dedicated to it. It still hasn't been patched. They were hoping it'd be patched in the day one patch, which I can't believe is a thing. But yeah,
a day one patch for a game that doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, and that it still has not been addressed. So if you haven't seen already, the review scores for this game are not good. They're being compared to Sea of Thieves. You know, at first, which we kind of talked about, I was okay with that because I remembered that State of Decay 1 got a 5 out of 10 from GameSpot.
Right.
And then it hit me that I didn't play State of Decay 1 until a year later on Xbox One for the Year 1 edition. So
yeah, it
had already been quote unquote optimized and still ran like shit.
Right.
So that I came to that realization, and you know, it was just disappointing. Now I kind of understand where those lower scores are coming from. I need to play more before I can give too much of an opinion on it, I feel like, but that was my experience and you know, Kevin's experience, who I plan on playing it with, and I know you plan on picking it up as well.
I was going to pick it up.
You were going to have some free time to yourself, and you were going to play through
it
a little bit.
I couldn't, most of my gaming is going on PC right now.
Right.
I'm not going to fucking bring my PC to my mom's house for 10 days.
This big old monster? No way.
Yeah, so I was like, cool, I'll pick this up on the Windows Store so I can play it on PC at home.
Yeah.
And play it on my Xbox at my mom's house.
Yeah.
With you guys, because it is cross-platform play.
Yeah.
With consoles, so I guess I won't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean that. You know, if you do get it, I'd love to try it out. But
yeah, I want to play it.
You know, if Kevin's doesn't get his to work, and if you don't end up picking it up, I'll honestly probably refund it.
Well, I want to if it's still not working by that's not for another like 13 days, almost 2 weeks until that.
Yeah.
So.
There's no, that's
that's a long time.
That's
maybe they can patch it in that time.
They could, and you know, they are kind of obligated to. But if people are still having problems at that time, I don't know. I would recommend holding off for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You know, if you have to have the same experience I did and wait a year and get the Year 1 edition of State of Decay 2, then
probably for half the price.
Do that for half the price or a quarter of the price, and you're gonna love it. I guarantee you. But until then, I don't have much more to say on that. Maybe next week I'll have an update for you, but. Unfortunately, didn't get to play as much of it as we would have liked to. And now, which I talked about with Halo, there's kind of a weird taste in my mouth about the game now, because it's really disappointing. Mm-hmm. This whole like one-day patch culture we have is super frustrating, which I know, you know, we're beating a dead horse in this. We've talked about it before, but it's just weird that they can just ship it, we'll fix it, they'll tell us what's wrong with it, just let it out there. Fuck the review scores.
The game should just be for free if we're gonna or release it in Xbox preview.
Yeah.
As an unreleased game.
Yeah, I mean, let the people know they're a part of a test.
Like, have you seen this? So The Forest.
Yeah.
Officially came out.
Yeah.
It has been released very recently.
Okay.
And it's amazing. Like let me find the Metacritic for PC. April 30th. 83.
83. Holy, wow.
They've changed it so much over the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's doing really well. But it was buggy and stuff, but that's because it was being developed in early release.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. We played The Forest. I played it with Kevin and Jeff and a couple other friends, and it was awesome. You know, it was a game I got on sale for like $10, I think, and it was a lot of fun. The right off the bat, the story is really interesting.
Yeah.
You kind of crash land on an island. You're looking for
your son.
I think your son. Yeah, and you have like a map, I think, and there's like this giant pit in the middle of the forest, and like there's no explanation of how to get down there. The game doesn't provide explanation for how to do anything, actually. I mean, you have like crafting notes and things like that, but as far as story goes, you have no idea what to do. There's just a giant pit in the middle of the world and no explanation of what it is or how to get down there.
See that. I want to see.
It's cute. It's crazy.
It's on my wish list.
Yeah.
It's $20.
$20 right now.
Nothing. I mean, it'll go on sale probably later, but
yeah, I think I picked it up for 10 or 15. But yeah, it's so weird. There's these like weird cannibal creatures running around, and the longer you stay alive, the harder the game gets. Kind of like 7 Days to Die. If you've played that, every 7 days you get a horde.
I don't think I have played.
Oh, okay. It's kind of similar to that. It just gets harder the longer you wait, and you find better weapons. You can upgrade. You can build a little town, and it's actually a lot of fun. You can go underground. There's this whole crazy labyrinth of underground areas you can access, and
yeah, that's where all the cannibals live.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100. And it's horrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to be in there. And
it looks so much better than it did when I first saw it and played it a little. I played it in early access for a while,
cool.
And they had like a free period years ago. Years ago. This has been in development forever.
Yeah, I've only known about it for less than a year, probably.
Probably back in this is like 2015 or
wow,
something like that.
Okay.
They had like an early like a free period or whatever, and I played it, and it looked like garbage.
Yeah,
it was kind of fun, and
yeah.
It was kind of creepy too, but it looked horrific. And looking at these screens, like it looks way better than it ever has before.
Have you seen the pit I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It sounds like I'm being like way too hyperbolic, but I'm telling you, it's huge. Like,
no, I
wish you could find a picture.
I kind of want to get this. Like I want to play it.
It's horrifying, and if you picked it up, I would love to play it some more because we kind of we had like a good little thing going, and we fell out of it.
It's just tough, I want to play these games.
I know, I feel you.
I don't know if I will.
I feel 100%. I feel you. I'm the definition of that guy, quote unquote. You know.
Well, these the difference though, like for me, these games don't really have an ending. They're not boxed up in a campaign that you can just play and finish and then go right back to what you're doing.
That's totally
This
fair.
is another like service game that you play online for as long as you want with friends. Which those are the ones that scare me.
Mm-hmm.
Between PUBG and ESO and Destiny and something like this, where it's like, yeah, get on, just play whatever you want, and it's like that's great.
Fair.
But now I don't know how much I'll be doing that because
I think this game does have an ending though, right? Because you got to find the boy.
Yeah, I guess it would have an ending.
I don't know how it ends or what the ending is because even if you look at a game like Subnautica, which I put a lot of time into, I think there's an ending. Yeah,
I've never seen you play it like on
no.
stream
I think I have like quote unquote a lot of time. I guess that's relative, but like 15 or 20 hours or something like that. I used months ago. I was streaming it. When I picked it up, I got it on sale for like $5 or $10, which
is another one of those survival games that I like to look at.
Which has an ending. I'm pretty sure you can escape from the planet or just spend all your time there. Yeah. And hang out and build a world and die of radiation, which is what I'm doing in my game, dying of radiation. But I'm pretty sure there's an ending. Maybe you don't have to do it, or you can take as long as you want to.
Yeah, and you can build like a massive like log cabin and stuff, and it's like super nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. Yeah, it's very nice. You can build like giant camps, and you can set up traps and stuff like that so you don't get attacked. At night, you do get attacked if you stay awake by these crazy giant creatures that come out of the forest, and they live underground. It's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. Yeah,
and like I've heard some of the best gear and equipment and resources are down in the cave.
Yeah, you can find
they like
the upgraded bow and arrow. You can find like a compound bow underground from like a dead survivor, which helps you a lot. Dead survivor, that was kind of an oxymoron. Dead guy who used to be a survivor. But yeah, the upgraded axe, you can find a sword and stuff like that underground. But
I heard that like the enemy AI is really good in the sense like
they're terrifying. They watch you. Yeah. They'll never. If there's only one of them, he won't just attack you. Like if they're outnumbered and they know they're gonna lose. Like Kevin and I were playing and we were just like building a cabin on the beach with no cover. We're just terrified and we only had torches. And you could look in the forest and you can see their eyes watching you. Oh. And they'll move around and like climb up in trees and move and watch you. And then like when you think they're not going to attack, then 3 or 4 of them will like
go
push you.
Get their buddies.
Yes, 100%. They'll leave. They'll come back and they'll push you from like different directions. And you're like, oh god! And you're hitting them with torches, and it's terrifying, man.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, it is really good.
That sounds really cool.
I don't think I could play by myself. My anxiety would be way too high. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, I'll definitely think about it, picking it up. Maybe it'll go on sale at some point.
Yeah, too. I'm sure it will.
I mean, $20 is not bad for a really good game.
When was the official release? When 1.0?
April 30th.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't played it since then, so I would love to see what the.
So it's probably got a nice update for you.
Finished product, yeah,
with some good graphical updates.
That's fine.
That's the other thing too is like I feel like it's this weird thing where everyone talks about how PC's the best because it looks the best and runs the smoothest. And then anyone I know that plays PC is like, turn it to low. I'm like, what's the point? I thought it was so great.
Yeah,
because you play.
That's totally
it's so much
fair.
more powerful. I get it competitive, But I don't know if people do the same thing with games like this.
No, yeah, and I know you get it because you just mentioned, but the two areas where that makes sense is competitive or like streaming or recording video. Because when you have it to low, it takes a lot of pressure off of your, like if you have hardware encoding for streaming, which I use.
Yeah, a lot of processing power.
A lot of processing power off your GPU, which makes sense. And like competitive gaming, you want as little input lag as you can.
That makes complete sense.
But if it's just you playing, crank that
or like
bitch up,
if we all played together on this.
Crank it
I'm
up.
not streaming.
Crank it up.
Because that's what I mean.
And it's a good looking game.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, Fortnite, an attempt at State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's really it. State of Decay 2 was so disappointing. That's all I can really focus on with that. I didn't play it long enough to have any more input. It finally, by the time it worked, I didn't have enough time to play it, and I didn't really want to be honest. At that point, Fortnite, which you talked a little bit about Season 4, which is the quote-unquote competitive season they're in right now. It's a lot of fun. A lot of cool skins if you haven't checked it out. This is kind of post Meteor hitting the map, which changed it a lot. If you haven't seen that yet, definitely go check it out. It's a lot of fun. The game's free.
It is.
Go play it.
Free.
See if it's for you.
What
about you, man? A little good news to brighten up this podcast a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little pathetic, but it's fun.
I mean, what are we doing here, man? We're podcasting about video games.
We are podcasting about video
games.
What's
pathetic?
It's awesome. So I am in the Lore Seekers Guild,
which you talked about.
Elder Scrolls Online,
Lore Seekers being a podcast that's held by.
They started.
What do they do? Who are they?
What do you mean?
Like the guys who
they've been involved in other pretty big podcasts before. I'll have to go back and look. But them and a few other people were in other podcasts about games, different games. Like they do like specific gaming podcasts.
Okay.
So they're big in very specific circles.
Cool. Okay.
I think they used to play like WoW. I think.
Oh, okay.
They probably had a podcast there.
Gotcha. A lot of RPG stuff.
A lot of MMOs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they're former podcasting. They didn't podcast for a couple years, and the two of them are like really close friends. So they started this up.
Okay.
And then we've told the story before, where like one day on the Elder Scrolls Online website and on their Twitter, they shared their first episode and say, "Hey, this is a great podcast for newcomers to ESO and for veterans, or whatever." And then people just started listening to it.
And now, explain what you did yesterday.
So they had their first guild event because the guild's only like 4 weeks old.
Yeah. How many people?
I don't know, 1,000 probably. I don't know. Like
so
in the Discord, there's like 170, but there are a ton of applications, and they just pour in.
Yeah.
I think 1,000's a little heavy on a little hyperbolic, but
okay.
Hundreds, I would say, and there's like 160, 170 in the Discord. So they had their first guild event, which they were talking about for a while. They called it the Wild Hunt, and the thing was, we'll see how many people show up for this thing. And then you get into groups if there's too many, and you roam the open world hunting for the open world bosses. They're like, sometimes you'll run into them when you're playing solo, and you're like, oh shit, they just destroy you.
Yeah.
They don't roam around the world. They're in specific little areas, and you run up to them and you fight them. So the goal was to do every single one, if possible.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 130 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Gotcha.
And they're all over the map.
Gotcha.
So it started at 10 a.m. We all met up at like 9:50, and way more people showed up than they thought would show up. Oh my God. Like way more people. And they were like, oh, okay.
Like, how do we manage
like that picture that's on Twitter is
Yeah.
probably only half of the people that ended up jumping on.
Very cool.
So there were a good, like, probably close to like 40 people, like 36 people, 38 people, something like that.
Okay.
So they broke it up into two. So each of the podcasters had a group, and we just ran across the open world from 10 a.m. to about 6:30 p.m.
Oh my God,
Playing
dude, that's
ESO,
so awesome.
Leveling up, getting good gear.
What they've done
just
with that
chatting,
community.
talking. Everyone in there is really cool. Everyone's
Yeah.
super helpful. I had people like making me stuff. Like, oh, here, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go make Ian a bunch of stuff, and they made me stuff and they gave it to me.
What?
Like, it's crazy, man.
It's so crazy when you talk about that community, because I know there is a PvP aspect to Elder Scrolls Online.
There is
I don't know
PvP,
how
yeah.
big it is.
It's got its own big following.
Gotcha. But I think because what you're doing is not competitive among players, like that toxicity isn't there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like people are there to help each other and to just play the game and hang out. There's probably quiet guys in there or girls who don't really want to communicate. They just kind of want to hang out and do their thing. But like that guy who was willing to help you out and just make you stuff, I feel like that's just people who play MMOs.
Yeah.
They want to kind of show off their knowledge of the game and what they have. Hey, take this level whatever armor I have because I don't need it anymore because I'm better than that.
Yep.
But you can have it. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
He went and made it. He actually crafted it.
That's so crazy. That's so
crazy.
crazy.
These guys got like a million of these, all this material that he doesn't even use anymore.
And plus, you have in common that you are fans of that podcast. So like,
yeah, well, and I think that's why the community is it's been so quick built so fast, and it's all full of quality human beings. Is because anyone who, like, if you listen to this podcast and you're like, these stupid nerds, like, obviously they're not going to join the guild. You know what I mean? Like, that's like,
no, right. And you mentioned that in their Discord they're really hard on like negative people, right? Like,
I mean, they would be, but there aren't any.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I've never had to see them do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's just a bunch of people just.
Yeah, because I guess you wouldn't know about
being all friendly
unless you were a member or a fan of the podcast, anyway. So
yeah, so sense. I don't think like I don't really think there's a bunch of jackasses listening to the podcast.
Yeah,
like, I don't.
It's unfortunate. Like as it gets bigger, maybe that will seep in a little bit. But
maybe I think they'll kick them out.
Yeah,
I don't think there's really a lot of.
It sounds like they're managing the whole thing really well.
It's easy to contact them. It's not like they're like these big.
Dude, you've been on their podcast twice.
Yeah,
like that's crazy. Like,
and I talk to them like every other day.
Like they're just guys. I mean,
Discord.
You talk to them in Discord more than we all talk to each other.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's so active in there.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone's doing the same thing, so they have different conversations in Discord. They've got the character build and the lore discussion and all of that different stuff. You can just go in and just talk with everybody about the game that you're playing like crazy.
Yeah.
So I played for about 8 hours yesterday straight. I mean, and I mean straight. I mean, like on the top of every hour, we'd be like, all right, everyone take a 5-minute break.
Dude,
I'd let the dogs out.
I love it, man.
Do some jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Some
stretch.
push-ups.
Dude, I do the same thing. I stretch a little bit. I'm like, all right, don't die.
And then
no blood clots today.
Drink a big thing of water, go refill it, and then sit back down and
that's awesome.
Keep on going. I tried to record as much of it as I could in like half-hour segments.
Okay, cool.
So like, there's a lot of it where it's just dead silence and like load screens. So I might go through and like pick some footage out. And,
very cool.
There wasn't like a ton of uproarious laughter or anything. There was a few moments where everyone thought it was funny, but we're all getting to know each other still.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was just like very technical talk about the game and like, or like, oh, I remember this part. And
gotcha.
You know what I mean? It was very like kind of low key.
Yeah.
There was no awkward silence, but when it was quiet, it was fine. It was just because none of us know each other quite yet. We're all learning. I added a few friends, and now they know who I am on Discord. You know what I mean? They know my name in there. So it's like, over time, that'll change.
Very cool.
But, you can always talk. Everyone could just talk to Jibs, and he knows what he's talking about.
Super relatable guy.
Well, yeah, and plus everyone, when you listen to a podcast, you get to know
100%.
the form of whatever they're showing you. You get to know of who they are. So you feel already more comfortable because, like, I listen to you do these podcasts every week for an hour and a half, or whatever.
Yep.
So it's easier to talk to them, I think. But it got better as we went on, and people got more comfortable, and we were starting to have a lot of fun and talk. And so it got better as the day went on. And there was a few great moments, like we'd come up onto a world boss, and there was a solo guy who had nothing to do with us in game, just fighting the boss by himself, and we would all surround him and then do the clapping emote.
It's just while he's fighting, he's battling to the death.
Yeah, he's like
some giant worm.
He's probably wondering why the fuck we're not helping him because we wanted to do the whole thing ourselves.
Like, you got it, man.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Get it. It's all you.
The first time we did that, he like killed the thing and he had like no health and he killed the boss.
Did he bow?
And he turned around and he just sort of like ran off. And like someone in our group chat was like, man, but that guy was like, what the fuck is this? And we were all just laughing really hard. Like that was one of those few moments where we were just dying.
That would have been great if he bowed and everyone was just like,
yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, that's
awesome,
what we did.
Oh
but he didn't bow because I don't think he was. He was so taken aback.
Awkwardly ran away.
Yeah, he like stood there and he clearly like looked around and then he just ran off.
There's 40 other people here.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Like, what's happening?
None of them helped me. That's weird.
So it was great, man. And it's just cool to be a part of a community like that in a game.
That's awesome.
Never had that experience before.
No, yeah, I don't think I ever have at all. You know what I mean? Especially the kind of games I play. The community's so shitty, to be honest.
Come join us.
I know I should. Were I a better person, I would, but I'm not.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So that's cool. Tomorrow, because we're recording Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
So tomorrow, Somerset launches for PC.
Ciao.
So I'll be playing that.
Cool. You excited?
For the next week.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes.
pretty much all I'm going to be doing.
Cool. Good, man.
Other than like maybe some Total War stuff for podcasts, or not for podcasts, for the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So we covered State of Decay. We covered ESO. There's a few more things you wanted to talk about, right?
Well, there's Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah.
Which we're not huge Call of Duty guys.
No, and I, at least myself, am rather uninformed on this topic. We just watched a couple videos, read a few things about it. But apparently Black Ops 4 has announced they are doing away with the single-player campaign and replacing it with a Battle Royale mode. Now, of course, there's a giant audience that's going to think that is the greatest marketing and business move ever. And there isn't obviously going to be an audience on the other end that disagrees with that. I think you probably know where we stand on the entire thing. As far as single-player games are dead and they're not selling. I heard God of War was a piece of crap.
Right.
So it's all about Sea of Thieves
Sold
right now.
3 million copies in the first week.
Straight garbage.
Well, Sea of Thieves is multiplayer only.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can play it by yourself.
They're doing so well, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's all about that. If you add multiplayer, the game's going to do well. You need loot boxes. God of War needed loot boxes.
It's like, I am not even, for me, it's like, I'm not upset if they take out the single player campaign, if it's for a good reason,
Yeah.
If they're like, well, but here's what we're going to do instead. So it's like, I don't want to just be just a rampaging person who's just mad.
No.
I don't trust Activision.
Right.
I think they're just removing the campaign and still selling their game for $60.
100%. Yeah.
Which is fucking bullshit.
Yeah. There's really no defending it, right? Like, I'm trying to play a little devil's advocate like usual.
They put Battle Royale in.
That doesn't mean it's good. I know I'm the guy. If there's any Battle Royale guy in this podcast, I'm him. I know that. That does not mean I agree with it. Okay, people? That does not mean you can throw Battle Royale into whatever you want and make it good, okay?
Well,
stop it.
Not only good, but I just don't see it being like, oh man, like, this Battle Royale mode is really taking the team to task. We need to cut the single player mode. Like, come the fuck on.
I think the point is, I don't know what the point is. But, okay, so Call of Duty is known, it has great gunplay. It does. If you play it, the game plays really well. Gunplay is fun. So what are you going to get? And that's great. What are you going to get by adding a Battle Royale mode that's groundbreaking? Probably nothing. The people who don't like the cartooniness of Fortnite and don't have a PC to run PUBG, this is probably going to be their home for a little bit. But they're
basically just PS4 players.
Basically, yeah. Well, yeah, or Xbox players who standards are a little bit higher. And I don't know what... I know they're adding vehicles. PUBG has vehicles, but they're not attack vehicles. They're not offensive at all. They're made for transport. They're adding helicopters, which I'm assuming have some kind of weapons on them. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work.
If that's going to make people happy or furious.
It depends on the implementation.
Right, yeah, exactly. It depends on which side of the helicopter you're on, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know plenty of people who play the campaign.
Yeah. No, a lot
of Call of Duty fans are like, yeah, I play the campaign.
Even the guys you would think who are like hardcore casual, like multiplayer guys.
Yeah.
I know hardcore casual was
casual?
another oxymoron on Dead Survivor.
But I knew exactly what you meant.
You knew exactly
both times.
Yeah, they're really hardcore about being a casual player.
Yeah.
Who just usually do multiplayer. A lot of times we'll at least try the campaign out. Because they're usually pretty short. You can finish it in a couple of hours, and it used to tell a really good story, and there were characters there that were good and relatable. I haven't played one in a couple of Call of Duties, but because that's a unit of time now. It's Call of Duty.
Same thing
3
as a year.
4 Call of Duty.
365 days.
Yep, 100%. I don't know, man. I'm trying to play a little devil's advocate. I know people are upset kind of about the increase.
But apparently a lot aren't.
Yeah.
Because there are, I would say it's still a minority that does play it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say minority, and it's millions of people who play it.
Yeah, for Call of Duty,
but
right?
But you have tens of millions who don't, or whatever. They sell a crazy amount of numbers. So I don't know if it's just... If it's like they should know, Activision should know, Battlefront 2, you can't do that. Right. So they have to have something. I mean, just $60, you don't have to pay for all the work of the campaign. That's the thing for me. I just feel like I don't feel like enough has been done to make up for a loss of a campaign.
Because it's not... I would imagine extremely difficult to develop a battle royale game, especially when you already have like an engine developed and everything like that. For Call of Duty,
you got a map maker and everything.
Yeah, what did they need to do? I mean, the vehicles were probably there.
Yeah, because a map, even a tiny map, has a mathematical formula to it.
Yeah, especially when it's competitive.
Yeah,
there really is formulas to it, but when you have a battle royale map, which they claim is 100 times bigger than any other map. Keep in mind, the regular Call of Duty map is about the size of this room we're in.
Yeah.
Which is not huge, no offense.
No,
but,
you can usually, but they're really well made a lot of the time.
They are
like
really
some
well
of the best
made, yeah.
multiplayer maps are from Call of Duty.
100%. I mean, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty are all really good examples of that formula you're referring to.
Multiple access points to one central area with a few hallways going around the perimeter so that people can constantly flank and run around.
Yeah, if you get a chance to dive into like real map development on competitive games, it's actually really interesting. There's a lot that goes into it. On this though, I don't know. I mean, where would that be? I mean, look at a game like PUBG where most of the windows, when you crouch, even though they're at eye level, you can't shoot through them because your bullet hits right below the window on the little window sill. Like, that's not top tier game design, but you'd expect that from a game that came from a weird third party modder Irish guy and was given to this weird Korean company. Like, okay, that makes sense, but like, what kind of map design are we going to see from this 100-time bigger? Do we even know the terrain of the map? Is it some kind of giant desert?
They didn't show it. It was all
kind of close quarters stuff that they were showing.
Well, and they only showed the standard multiplayer, which looks very good.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks really good.
It looks like Call of Duty. Yeah.
I like the health bars they added to above their head.
Yeah,
That's kind of interesting. But the shooting looks really super smooth, and the gameplay in that gameplay demo, phenomenal. They're adding like a class thing, so it's kind of like Rainbow Six Siege now, where they have like the dude with the shield.
Yeah, one guy threw down barbed wire, which looked identical from Rainbow Six Siege. And the the video we watched that Angry Joe did talked about how every character is going to have kind of like an introduction video, which comes from Rainbow Six Siege as well. If you ever played that, if you unlock like Sledge, it shows him busting through a wall with a sledgehammer, so you kind of get that feel. But I mean, are they doing the exact same thing? Is that
so? So what this game feels like to me is like, well, the creative section, which is storytelling and the single player story, we don't know how to do that. So we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to take PUBG, and we're going to take Rainbow Six Siege, and we're gonna use Call of Duty gameplay for it.
Yeah,
like it just feels like one of the most flat, uninspired, vanilla, corporatized games I can ever remember.
I think uninspired is like the best way to put it. Like there's nothing. I mean, maybe there is, but I can't see like an original idea coming from. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
It feels like they're taking the best.
Shouldn't they be in the vanguard of like, this is our new mode that
innovation?
We're really excited about.
Yeah, especially with that
they
kind
created
of
modern multiplayer shooting games.
Yeah,
really,
100%. Yeah.
I mean, there's other games in there, of course. Halo is a big one.
Yeah, but they're one of the biggest titans in that field for sure.
And multiplayer game was partially built around Call of Duty because they were the ones messing with stuff. They were trying new things with classes and progression, RPGs. Who before that would have started? Like, who would have thought that the Call of Duty bros would be interested in RPG elements? Right. If you tell them they're RPG elements, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
but they are. You know,
put them in there, and
you get new weapons and new math. You look the look of your guy and all that stuff. Like that was all innovation, pure innovation from Call of Duty that's been stolen by every other game out there.
Yeah, I mean.
It's a lot of great systems, and now it's just like they're just so. They are the Jurassic World.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Just these like mass quantity. Like everyone will like this. We're not going to say anything. Yeah. We don't mean anything with any of this. It is just vanilla, and like no one can really hate this. No one will. People might love it because it looks crazy.
Yeah, people will.
But there's no themes, there's no motifs, there's no character development. It doesn't. None of that matters. It's just here is this big, flat, shallow, and it's got everything in it, and just have fun with it because. We don't.
Because we put it together,
No one will remember this movie in 10 years. No one will remember Call of Duty 4 either.
What I would have liked to see them do, I would have liked to see Call of Duty come out and go, hey, PUBG did this, Fortnite did this, Overwatch did this, but look what we did. And then drop some crazy knowledge bomb, some innovative, just whoa thing that only Call of Duty could pull off with their talent and their backing and their, money, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But that's not what it feels like. It feels like, well, PUBG did this and Overwatch did this, so we're doing it too. Hey,
it's kind of like they're just behind, and
it doesn't have a new game feeling.
Regurgitating.
Yeah, stuff. I don't know.
Well, then we have, staying on the same conversation, we have Battlefield 5 on May 23rd.
Yeah, and
reveal.
If there's any doubt in your mind, not you particularly, but anybody listening, that there's going to be a battle royale mode in this, you're crazy. You're crazy with all due respect. I love you, but you're crazy. There's going to be a battle royale mode, especially in a game like Battlefield that we already know can handle that many players very well. And it always has. And
make bigger and even bigger maps. Than
oh my god. I mean, and with the destructible buildings and scenery, and their maps are always excellent. They're always a lot of fun. There's always stuff going on everywhere. There's helicopters exploding and craziness going on. Obviously, the pacing is going to be a little different in a Battle Royale mode, but it's coming. For sure.
I just don't know how you're going to do it in a World War II setting.
Yeah.
How do you...
I don't know. I mean...
Like, these Americans jump off the plane, and then when they jump off the plane, they're like... They get a radio signal. It's like, by the way, all the fellow American soldiers are actually German spies.
Yep, 100%.
Like, what are they going to do?
But then, actually, all 99 of them, they're all German spies. Kill them. Even though they're killing each other.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And they're trying to kill you.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's my only... Honestly, I don't even care if they put Battle Royale in it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what they're going to do.
What if they try to, like, tie in some kind of weird, like prisoner of war narrative, right? Where they put you on an island, kind of like Hunger Games, where put you on an island and like you're gonna die either way, but unless you win. Okay, well, I love these guys, but I gotta kill them all, kind of thing. Like that might be interesting, right? Maybe throw a narrative in there. But,
if you just get rid of World War II again.
Yeah, just make it.
Well, actually, you know what you could do, with like the Call of Duty World War II or whatever. It could just be a totally separate mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like and to the point where it's modern or whatever.
Oh, you mean change the scenery and everything?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Why just be like Battlefield? Maybe so like when Total War Warhammer 2 came out, they had the new campaign and you played that, and then like 4 weeks later or whatever, they released the Mortal Empires, which puts the first two games together.
Right.
And it was its own thing, right? It's separate from the base game. You could do the same thing. It's like, here's Battlefield 5, here's our multiplayer suite, here's our campaign, and coming in 3 weeks is a free Battle Royale mode that's been made by a separate team that looks like Battlefield 4 with modern weapons and no explanation for story, and you just get dropped on an island.
People would love it, man.
Just separate. Like, I would be okay with that.
People would love that.
Because I just don't... otherwise, I have no idea how you do Battle Royale with World War II weapons. And World War II, you know what I mean? A lot of them are very close quarters, except for like the Springfield rifle or whatever, like the bolt action. Well, it just doesn't. I just don't think it would work very well with World War II.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of like alternate history twist to it. I don't know if they're gonna do that with the whole game, but at least for Battle Royale, where you know how they kind of did that with Battlefield 1, right? To make the weapons a little more like accessible for everyone.
Weapons that were being produced at the time but not in mass use were just given to you.
Yeah, they made them kind of fully developed at that time, just so you had like an automatic weapon you could use and things like that. Maybe they add that kind of twist to it. I don't know. I'm curious to find out, to be honest. And we'll know on May 23rd. Well, we might not know. We'll have an idea.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a topic of discussion on our next podcast. Yeah. Battlefield 5 reveal. Maybe we can get together to watch that.
I'm in.
I don't know. We'll have to see what time it is, but that would be fun. Maybe we can do a reaction.
I'm in right after,
like we did with Rage. Because man, Rage
2
reaction got a reaction.
It's doing really. It did get a reaction.
Do you want to cover a little bit of our Rage 2? Because they're separate. You know, that's a separate video.
Yeah. So let's do that. So we did do a video. We reacted to the new Rage 2. Two videos. We did the Rage 2 trailer.
Yeah, the announced
trailer and the gameplay footage. So we did a reacts to both of those that are live now on the page. Go check them out if you haven't already. And our takeaway from it, I feel like we both had a pretty similar feeling at the end of it. We were very confused. There was a word you used that I don't remember that really perplexed was the word.
Yeah, perplexed was the word I used.
That really captured how I felt. I was like, I don't know.
I just didn't really know what to think.
I was happy in a weird way just because of the theme of the whole... There's a lot of color going on, a lot of loud music. That was about it, though. There was a short person was shot out of a cannon and shot with a shotgun after. That was cool.
That Andrew W. It just has a...
Let's get ready to die.
So one thing I am excited about.
Yeah.
That I learned via the comments and further research is that id is making the shooting.
Right.
Everything else is Avalanche. So
gotcha.
Map development, story, character models, voice acting, open world, driving, all of that is Avalanche Studios. But the shooting is
the mechanics of the gunplay will be it.
Which means it's going to be goddamn
great,
great.
right? Which we kind of got a feeling from the gameplay. I mean, it looked great. We talked about how the gunplay looked awesome. We just didn't know what everything else was.
Yeah, I just didn't know how they were incorporating id and Avalanche.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and in another correction, we found out the original Rage was released in 2011. Not 2009.
I don't know why my brain was so convinced it was 9.
Yeah, what came out in 2009?
What came out? Something else Assassin's Creed 2 was one of the big ones in 2009. I remember that.
Yep.
There's other great games that came out that year I'm not thinking about.
Assassin's Creed 2.
Uncharted 2.
Fun fact, one of the only games I've ever gotten every achievement for.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed 2.
Nice.
Shout out to you, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And Brotherhood. For both of them. Brotherhood was so good.
But I'm thinking it's going to be Bethesda's Destiny.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a open, shared world, persistent shooter.
Right. Did they ever clarify whether or not there was multiplayer?
No, there hasn't been any clarification on anything. It was just that video.
Just the video, right? No,
that's all we had to go on. But I feel like every developer wants to have this kind of like portfolio of different things. I mean, Bethesda's already bought into the fact that they're the only single, like they care about the single player gamer.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of those games have not sold very well.
Right.
And so Rage is gonna do it for them.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the video how they're kind of covering every audience, which is actually a really good move.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe from a business point, it's not a great idea because you're using a lot of resources as well. But I don't know.
If it is a shared world shooter, I'm even less interested.
Yeah.
Even if it's good.
Yeah.
Just because there's always I'm already a part of so many persistent worlds, and they
right.
they demand near unlimited time.
Yeah, no, I mean, Destiny, you can play forever. You talk about, like, ESO, you can play forever. I mean, these are things, like, communities you're a part of.
I really only like to have one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I can just put them down and play my 25-hour campaign. I can play God of War and be done with it.
Yeah.
I can play Horizon, be done with it.
Just remember
Witcher, and be done with it. And they have their concise ending, whereas, like, ESO is great because it's like, and Total War, too.
Yeah.
Those are games where it's like, if I'm in the mood, great, pick it up and play it. You know?
Yeah.
Or don't.
You know, Rage 2, what it reminded me of, which I mentioned in the video, was kind of like Borderlands meets Doom meets Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with that game, it came out, it was on Xbox One, right? Like towards the release of Xbox One, I think.
Yes.
Right? It was like within a
Xbox
year or
One
two.
Exclusive.
Yeah. And you kind of like skated around on rails all over the town, and there were these weird aliens that got taken over by energy drinks or something crazy. I don't know. It didn't really make any sense, but it was very colorful, a lot of good music and craziness. It was like
the gameplay was really good.
Gameplay was good. It was like the Tony Hawk game meets an action game kind of thing, and that's what this felt like. I don't know.
Anytime I ever saw previews for it, I was like, ugh.
It's just too much. It's right? Too much color, too much goofy happiness going on. Yeah.
I'm just very particular with stuff like that.
Makes sense.
But Rage is less than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As far as goofiness goes.
Yeah. There's no one with like. Well, I was gonna say there's no one with pink hair, but there
very
kind
Mad
of
Max.
is. There's a lot of pink.
Yeah, there's a lot of pink.
Yeah,
it's Mad Max.
It's colorful Mad Max for sure.
Like just over the top.
Yeah.
People have just lost their fucking minds. Post apocalypse.
Yep.
And they're just running around. I don't know what the story's gonna be. I don't know like how they're gonna tell it. But that's another thing. If it's a persistent world shooter, it's probably not gonna have the best story either.
Right. Yeah. If you had to compare it to like a Destiny or one of the other examples you used, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if Rage had like this hub world, if there's like MMO aspects to it, like we got in Destiny or something like that. I don't feel like there will be.
Yeah.
But
the more I think about it, the more I think it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because EA is making Anthem,
which we know is just like that.
Just like that.
I mean, we saw the hub world.
Yeah.
We saw the different tiers of loot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We saw bosses, quote unquote, right, that you kill and you get the loot for. So we know it's going to be just like that whenever it does come out. I don't know. Rage, it doesn't seem like it like it's the peg for that hole. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything anymore.
Well, so, Avalanche.
I don't know what peg is where.
It's an interesting idea too. Avalanche and id are not similar in the games that they make.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how they meld together. And that's two big ass studios working on this game.
Yeah.
So I don't know when the game's supposed to come out. We're gonna find out a lot more about it, I think, at E3.
Okay.
Which I'm super excited for E3.
I'm excited as well.
I don't know how do you want to do that? Do you want to do audio podcasts that we can throw up, or should we do videos?
I think we should try to do videos.
Yeah.
And we can still upload the audio.
Right.
If you want to get weird, we can do both.
Oh yeah,
which I'm totally down for. I think the video might work. I mean, if you look at our Rage 2 video, I mean, did super well.
We should do an E3 reactions to the different conferences and stuff.
Do it. I'm in.
So we not too much longer at all. Just a couple of weeks, and we're in it. June already. We're halfway through 2018.
Great.
Almost halfway through already.
It's crazy.
I don't know how the fuck that happened.
I don't know either.
Well, we're kind of out of stuff to talk about for this week. Not, if State of Decay had worked, we're at 50 minutes.
50 minutes, okay.
If State of Decay had worked, we probably would have made it to an hour because you would have talked about the game.
I would have been. I would have had all kinds of crazy things to talk about, but I just didn't have any experience with it. My experience was very short. It was very quiet. I'm sure there's more to the game, obviously, when you keep playing it, but my plan was to play it with other people, and that wasn't able to happen because a lot of people are having issues with the game. And it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? And it makes me not really want to play it at all when I can go play, hundreds of other games that work perfectly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If there's all these options out there that are great games, there's so many good games out right now. There's no reason for you, even if you're loyal to the franchise, to waste your time on a game that feels rushed or feels like there wasn't the kind of love put into it that maybe there was in the original. I don't know. It's just disappointing. It's the only word I have. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
The only positive I heard about it was on the Game Informer podcast, and they were saying that when all of the stuff that's not working is actually working.
Yeah.
There's like glints of moments of how incredible it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
maybe. Yeah.
Just these incredible, memorable sort of the PR quote emergent storytelling.
Yeah. Cool.
Like just little moments that you can just tell someone at work about. Like, man, I was stuck on this billboard ad and I was surrounded by zombies and I jumped over them and hurt my leg and then I got into the car and ran them over and drove. And it was like, that is what I want from the game. And then when he turns the game off and the car respawns, the car respawns on its side and it blows up.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay.
That's
and cars are finite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They mean something.
Yeah.
And so
you have to maintain them. They can break, and you fix the engine. You have to find parts. You have to fill it up with gas. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
So it has this whole thing where it's like, as soon as it starts to hit its stride, a technical issue comes and just ruins it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost unplayable.
Yep, it definitely is.
They wanted to give the score. They wanted to give it a question mark.
That's fair.
They were kidding. He was being sarcastic.
Yeah,
he's like, can I just give this a question mark
for
a score?
Yeah.
There's no way to accurately score.
Because when it's good, it's so good.
It's amazing.
When it's not, it's really not.
It's unplayable. Yeah, it's a zero.
It's a zero. Yeah, it's not even. It's like having credit or bad credit or no credit kind of thing. Like I don't know.
If you can't play it, like Hellblade, when Jim Sterling was reviewing Hellblade, he ran into this ultra rare bug that no one else playing ran into, where every single time he got stuck in this area where the darkness kills you, and you're supposed to be lighting these flames or whatever, but he didn't light one of them because he was like working his way down this hallway. It wasn't obvious to him, and he kept running down the hallway and died. Run down the hallway and died. And the checkpoint was after, and he had to restart the whole game, and he was like almost done with the game, so he gave it a 0.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I love this. And he put in his review, he's like, I absolutely love Hellblade. It's a special game that is unlike anything else, but I can't beat it. So it's a 0.
It's fair.
And then he fixed it and he went back and he redid it when they fixed it for him.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was like, how do you do that? You know what I mean?
Give it a question mark.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Give it a question mark. So what are you going to do as far as the refund? What's your time frame? Well, are you going to try it again tonight and see if it works, or are you just going to be like, F this and just get it refunded?
I'm definitely going to try it again tonight. I'm going to look into how long I have before a refund is out of the question. Steam, for example, if you play it for more than 2 hours and you have it more than like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I still feel like that's more of like a I don't like the game kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if you're spending more than 2 hours trying to get it to work, there's an exception there. I know 100%. This wasn't on Steam and there's different rules for Windows, but I think even Steam would probably refund this because it's a special case of it's 2 hours of nothing. It's loading. It doesn't work
and crashing. Yeah,
sure, the program is running, so it's counting the time, but that's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, my game works. I might not get to play with anyone else. I'm not sure if anyone picked it up.
I was planning on it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's super unfortunate that you might not. But I might jump back in. I might try a little bit more, and if it doesn't hook me after another couple of hours, I don't know how much longer I can wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially knowing that other people can't even play it really bothers me. And that whole like, well, if you just play it for 10 hours, it gets really good thing. That's always bothered me.
Yeah,
so,
that's crazy.
Especially when you play a game.
No, I'll say, depending on the kind of game, couple hours maybe.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Just like even Game of Thrones, the show.
Yeah.
I mean, the first couple episodes are really good.
Yeah.
But most people I know don't get hooked till like 5.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and that's definitely fair. I feel like games
Witcher
are
has a
a
slow
little bit
opener.
different. Witcher has a slow opener for sure. I would say that's the best example. If you can crank through that beginning of Witcher, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you have, and not that I'm comparing the two, when you have games out there like God of War though, where I played just the first hour and I can't not think about it, the bar's so high now. You know, but you don't go into State of Decay expecting God of War. You know what I mean? I'm just going back and forth in my head.
You're expecting it to hit play and it to launch and load and then you play the game.
Play my State of Decay. And, yeah, I don't know. Whoa!
Play the game on launch.
Day one patch.
It's like you almost want to refund it just to be like, you know, like
100%.
Bird to the man.
That's what it is. I mean,
Microsoft paid for this game. What are they doing?
I mean, you know, to be honest, and I kind of am comparing the two. Halo Master Chief Collection is the reason I didn't play Halo 5.
Yeah.
It's the reason I'll never touch another Halo game. You know, and it's unfortunate because I love Halo.
Yeah.
I love up to Halo, and I loved Halo 4 too. A lot of people, their love for it kind of fell off before. I liked Halo 4 a lot. And what happened with Master Chief Collection ruined my relationship with that entire franchise. And it's super unfortunate, but there's nothing, it's not going to change.
No.
You know what I mean? There's no... They didn't apologize to me. One guy, you know what I mean, who just complained. Like, it doesn't make a difference. But
no, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
you know, they made their money.
It leaves a weird taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'm sorry that it's Sunday and you have to go home and not to Starbucks. And you have Monday tomorrow.
It's so shitty. Are you working tomorrow?
I am working tomorrow.
Why? Why do we have to do this?
I don't know, dude. Because without that, I wouldn't be able to pay for this mic.
That's fair.
Or this computer. Or any of the games that we play that we talk about on the podcast.
Look, if you're listening and you know a millionaire who's into games, just let him know about us. You know, patreon.com.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We
don't do enough.
Do what you do. We definitely don't do enough, but we will. Make sure you leave some comments. Let us know if you played State of Decay, if it worked for you, if you played The Forest, if you were excited for Elder Scrolls coming out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, like a lot of little things in today's episode.
Yeah, a lot of little, you know, a wide pool, but a shallow.
Do you play Call of Duty campaigns? That's another good question.
The last one I played, the last Call of Duty, I really played. What? Oh, I thought you were asking me.
I mean,
all right, well, forget me.
You already told me the last one you played.
Well, the campaigns though.
Oh, okay.
Black Ops 2, I didn't play the campaign.
Oh,
I played the multiplayer, but. Yeah, for you important people, do you play the campaigns?
Because we were just asking them other questions. So.
Do you play the campaigns? I mean, what are you excited for? Have you played God of War yet? Because I haven't, because I'm shitty.
I mean, you could just borrow my copy. But here's the thing. Here's the rule. The rule is not borrow my copy and like play it someday.
Yeah.
If you borrow it, you play
I'm playing it. Yeah. And like, do I have a time frame? Like a week?
Not a time frame,
okay.
But I want to know that you're playing it.
Yeah,
like if you're
sure.
like if it's
That's
like
fair.
3 weeks in, you're like, yeah, I played like a couple
an
hours.
hour.
Like, well, give it back to me.
Give it back to me.
I don't want to hear this shit. About,
That's fair. Hey,
that would be my rule. That would be my rule for letting you borrow. You gotta like play it. You know, days go by, shit happens. You don't play it. But I just mean like. If we get a month in and you're 4 hours in, like, just give it back to me. I don't
comment if you think that's fair. I think it's fair.
You can leave with it right now if you want.
Do what you do. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you hanging out, listening, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully, recorded on Friday.
Yes, and have a great rest of your week. And yeah, we'll catch you next Tuesday for episode 60.
60. We're getting there, man.
Yep.
Later.